afternoon, everyone. I'm Nisha Dulhani, and I'm working as a Vice President of Big Data and Advanced Analytics in Vodafone Idea Limited. So, my today's topic is technology for social good. In this, I will just cover the AI part. So, let's see the distribution of AI adoption in different sectors. And which has happened in the fiscal year 2024, and this study was conducted by Team Lace Digital. So if we see the distribution, so 20% of AI adoptions are happening in BFSI, followed by IT. IT is like 20% and telecom comes under the IT only, so which is contributing like 10%. Pharma and healthcare is contributing like 17% in the overall AI adoption, followed by FMCG 14, manufacturing 9, and social sector is just showing 8%, which is our today's focus. So social sector is just showing 8%, and followed by infrastructure 7% and media and entertainment 3%. Now let's deep dive into social sector, that how this 8% is contributing across different challenges, basically societal challenges. So if we see, this study was conducted by McKinsey. So they conducted the systematic review on 160 AI social impact use cases, and they found that on health and well-being, 29 use cases were there. So 18% use cases were on health and well-being, followed by peace and justice 15%, and then education is contributing like 8%. If we see gender equality, so on gender equality, we have just 2% of research papers and studies. So this is saddening, and they conducted this research in March 2018. Again, the similar research they conducted in year 2024 on 600 AI social impact use cases. In that, they found again the similar type of pattern. So on health and well-being, we have 128 use cases, which is on top, followed by again the peace and education. Again, gender equality is less, but now this has shifted on bottom. So now gender equality is in the bottom, and it is contributing like 2%. So here I will discuss one use case of gender inequality, and we will see the how is the gender gap in the mobile phone ownership, and what are the linkages between mobile phone access and with empowerment. So if we see, so this is basically, these are the surveys, NFHS 3, NFHS 4, NFHS 5, which were conducted in 2005 to 2019. If we see in 2005, we had 16% of mobile phone possession in 2005, but now it has drastically increased, and now in 2019, 94% households are possessing a phone, at least one phone in household we have in 2019. So now, next slide will be showing us, we have households in our, we have phones in our households, but there is a disparity. If we see the next slide, so among male and female, 76% males are owning a personal phone, but females are owning, only 44% female are owning a phone. If we see the type of phones, so basic phone is basically, we can just call and text. So in basic phone, the woman has higher percentage, like 70% in India, and 50% males are owning a basic phone. Then if we see the trends in Bihar and UP, in basic phone, 84% females are owning basic phone in Bihar, and 39% are owning, 72% are owning a basic phone in UP. if you see the shared phone percentage, shared phone, basically we are sharing the phone. They don't have the own phone. So in sharing phone, the women has higher percentage. So basically men are having own personal phone, but women have higher sharing phones. So 29% women are sharing the phone in India. In Bihar, it is 31%, and in UP, it is 35%. And if we see the smartphone percentage, so 29% of males are having a smartphone, and here in India and in Bihar, it is like 15%, and women are just 5% who have these smartphones in Bihar, and 11% in UP. So now here we are seeing the ownership gap between male and female. So if you see across the education level, the ownership gap is similar. So even if women are highly educated, still they do not have phone, and the gap is widening. Across employment types, if you see working full-time, working part-time, means they are educated, but still there is a phone ownership gap. Working occasionally and housewife, working occasionally also have the gap, but the female who are at home and they are housewives, so their ownership gap is low or negligible. So that does mean that even if we are educated, we are working, still there is a disparity in ownership. So now, this slide is basically showing the life path of women a woman who has access to mobile phones since their childhood, and this red path is basically women who does not have the phone access since their childhood. So women who has access to mobile phone, if we see their schooling, so 81% are completing at least primary education. And here, women do not have the access in mobile phone. 56% are completing the primary education. Again, if we see the employment, so 24% women who have access in the phone have worked in last 12 months, and 19% are doing paid work also. But here if we see, so there is a 1% of drop, 23% are working in last 12 months and 17% are doing paid work. Then the next category is introduction to marriage and fertility. So 44% women who have access in mobile are aware about the legal age of marriage. Their marriage is happening in the proper age, but here 36% are basically marrying or marrying early, before 18 years of age. Then 65% are delayed childbirth. Delayed childbirth is basically they are giving the birth in early age, and they know about the legal age or proper age of childbirth. Even they are aware about the women who have access to phone are aware about contraceptives. Here they are not aware about domestic violence. That is a big issue in our society. So 26% women who have access in phone are facing any violence, but here the violence rate is also high, that is the 37%, and so they have faced any violence. Again, the violence has different categories like emotional, physical, sexual. So here, if you see the physical violence rate is higher in the women who do not have access in the mobile phone, and here that rate is little bit low. Then about the empowerment and decision making, if we see here, 69% of women owns their banking account who have access to phone, but here owning a bank account is also a big thing, and only 38% are owning the bank account. Similarly, 79% women take their money related decisions or household related decisions, but here above 80% are taking their own health related or money related decisions. So the path life is totally different who have access in phone and who do not have access to phones. So this is basically the statistical analysis which I did basis on few surveys. And so if you see, so here basically I'm trying to check the association between women who have access to mobile phones with the awareness of sexual and reproductive health. So green is basically they are highly associative. So women who have access to mobile phone, they are 1.56 times more likely to have awareness about the legal age of marriage. Similarly, 1.43% times of more aware about the pregnant at first sexual intercourse. There are different parameters, and they are aware about the contraceptive pills, then HIV AIDS, awareness of STI is higher in those women. Similarly, in UP also we are highly significant in these parameters. So similar like previous slide, so there we were checking the awareness about the reproductive health. Here, the empowerment of young girls. So women who have access in the mobile phones, their participation in the study-related decision is higher in UP and Bihar both. Then household purchase decision, so they are highly likely to take their own decision. Their participation in work-related decision, the women who have access in phone, they are taking their own decisions about the work. Even their knowledge about the politics and the politics and about the societal things is higher, the women who have access in mobile phones. So now, this is the association with the health practices or maternal and child health care parameters. So women who have access to mobile phone, they are basically using the hygiene in the menstrual processes, and even these are the health practices like 4+ and ANC visit, then in full immunization of child, whether they are aware about full immunization or not. So they are high likely in these parameters also. Again, the women empowerment. So women who have access to mobile phone, so they have worked in last 12 months. They are more likely to working in last 12 months. Again, they are receiving the pay. They are working on basically the paid thing, and similarly other parameters also. They are less likely to have the domestic violence. So in conclusion, I would say that as we saw on the first slide, that gender equality research papers are too low. And here, so basically, we should try to bridge that gap and try to publish as papers on the gender equality, because it is contributing just 2%. And even we should have collaboration between government and tech companies, so that we can bridge that gap. And here, new generation students, new aspirants can work on the more social sector studies, or they can publish more papers, because we have free data available like NFHS. On many health surveys we have that data is totally free, so we can create more papers and contribute in the gender equality, basically, because on that topic we do not have much papers.